Friendship supreme. Friendship supreme. Finding the geek within.
Hey everybody, my name's Michael,
My name's Cleve.
This is Stephanie.
and welcome back to another exciting episode of Friendship.
Hi, Prime.
That's the sound. We're the podcast that dares to ask if you could go back in time with a hammer and destroy one thing, what would it be?
Star Wars Holiday Special.
Hitler. I mean, I guess we could choose that, but
right. If you could do one, like, why would it not have been Hitler? But, you know, I guess the Star Wars special was George Lucas's. So
just for everyone's record, we just watched it all together. So it might take a moment for our thoughts to fully gather.
we all sat here on our computers in quarantine and watched that and chose to watch this.
My eyes twitching a little bit.
My brain's a little, yeah. So I mean, I think every creator has something that they wish didn't happen at some point. You know, remember the early videos of terrible quality and sound
but they were solid. Anyway,
they were solid. You're right, but
I would still rather watch them than this over again.
We didn't have a Jar Jar Binks.
Mm-hmm.
Is it as bad as Venus, the fifth Ninja Turtle?
Oh man, yes,
Right.
it is.
It is as bad as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles' Next Mutation.
Yes. You know why? Because we didn't create one new character to tell some weird story. We made so many characters.
So, for those that don't know, the Christmas special aired in fall of 1978. That is almost a year and a half after the original A New Hope came out in 1977. The idea was that they needed to keep merchandise on the mind and continue to sell stuff. So they threw something together and it aired on CBS. It aired one time and did so poorly and had such poor reception that it was wiped from this planet for a very long time.
I get it.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been created.
Fair, but they did want to sell toys. Like George Lucas essentially had to call in personal favors with almost all the actors and actresses in the film to get them to come do this. It was the story. I'll just keep narrating because the story was essentially around Life Day and getting Chewbacca back to his home planet, the Kashyyyk. There's like 6 Y's in there, 4 Y's. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. We're all Star Wars fans. I think Cleve and I are more Star Wars fans than Stephanie is, but like I would not say we're like in-depth Star Wars fans.
Just a small tidbit for you. It was called Kazook before it then became Kashyyyk.
Fair. That was one of the things I was going to say is like, so this is supposed to be about Life Day. It's supposed to be about Chewbacca getting back home. Mind you, they had no backstory on who Chewbacca really was or what his planet was or anything like that. And if you go into all of the lore now, 32 years later, 42 years later, everybody's found story or like have made stories to explain everything now. But like when this came out, imagine that all you had was A New Hope.
No internet, yeah.
There was nothing else out there. New Hope had been out for a year and a half, and then suddenly you get this story. Life Day is supposed to be like Christmas. This is a weird thing to me. So it was supposed to be a holiday special. It came out around fall, so it's supposed to symbolize like Thanksgiving, Christmas-ish. Like the idea is, family and being thankful and stuff. But they also use Christmas lights and decorate trees and shit. But we couldn't name it Christmas because Christmas is revolving around like Christ,
Religion.
religion, and that wouldn't make sense on Kashyyyk. But at the end of the film, they're showed all circled around the table praying. By the way, that was the weirdest thing to me in the entire film, which is saying a lot considering how many people, are, or how many weird ass
affiliated with this nonsense.
So I guess my question to you, we like to try to start most of these bad reviews off positively. What was your favorite thing about the film?
That's really hard to watch. Like you can't get a hold of it because it
Nowadays
shouldn't
you can.
be available.
Nowadays you can find it on YouTube or buy it on Amazon or whatever.
I think, although it had a terrible lead up, the holographic performance was really good.
Which one?
There
were three.
The one with the weirdest startup.
Oh, the really weirdly sexualized acrobat?
With Grandpa Rewinds?
Oh, I was thought the Asian acrobat in the beginning when he's like really like sexual with his dancing and like humping the air a lot with his horn, like a musical instrument. That was real confusing.
I mean, I thought that song was cool, and it seemed like a music video that someone would do now, just to like put like a older look and spin on it. I mean,
most of the music was not terrible. There was one song, although Carrie Fisher's great at singing, the song was awful.
Yeah, she said that she asked to sing, but it was like, I did not like that song.
I guess I did not like Bea Arthur's song either.
Oh, no. Because she's not, no. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I don't know.
But there were several songs that were in it, and by that I mean 2 songs that were not bad.
the one,
the rock band
just
one?
a Jefferson Starship, and the other woman, I don't know her name.
Boy, here's the best thing. Can you imagine calling in all your favors for this? And then like, shit, I fucked that up.
So Derek told me a fun fact yesterday when I told him we were going to watch this movie.
Okay.
And he said that Carrie Fisher would put it on at her parties when she wanted everybody to leave.
Yes. She got, if I understand correctly, she got it from George Lucas for recording the DVD commentary for A New Hope. And that was what she wanted, like, as a gift. Which, nice little, like,
at least she
card to
wants
pull.
To remember it.
She's the only one.
And she's gone now. Maybe that's what it is. You watch the film and oh god,
click the ring.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I brought this on us. Okay, this is gonna be easier for you, Stephanie. What was your least favorite part?
Why is that easier? The whole thing doesn't make any sense. I thought that
there wasn't a point.
Chewbacca left his entire family to.
It was a time of war, Steph. So was this supposed to be right after they got the medals? Okay.
And he only goes home for Life Day? Otherwise, he's off fighting in the galaxy?
Which, by the way, he wasn't off fighting a war, Cleve, because when they found them, they were just being fucking nerf herders. They were just being runners, smugglers.
Yeah.
Remember, because Luke Skywalker found him, and he's a smuggler, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh yeah, let's trick you into helping us out real quick."
When you're coming home from work, you don't run a side errand. You don't stop at Walmart when you're on your way home from work.
I mean, they blew up a fucking Death Star. I think it's a little more than just a side trip. Some shit went down. It wasn't good.
I need them to come back in the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
They don't fully tie together.
Derek says that they mentioned Life Day in The
They did.
Mandalorian at some point.
The blue guy in the first episode of the second season, I think it's the second season, or no, he comes back in the second season. But anyway, the blue guy that he says something about how he wishes that he thought he'd be out by Life Day or something like that. It's like a small.
I need the Mandalorian to be like, tomorrow's Life Day, and look at the camera and go.
Surely there was a part at some point that you were like, God, why are we watching this? That was more God, why are we watching this than any other moment.
I think it was maybe the creepy grandpa part.
Grandpa was a part.
It was early.
Yeah. Yeah, that was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The song was good. Like after you got past all the creepiness of it.
When she said,
if you forget that this is his creepy fantasy.
When he was in the living room getting a Wookiee Woody.
Yeah.
He was getting his Wookie on.
In the middle of the living room.
So a little bit of context for anybody that has not seen it or even ever heard of this. Like I said, it's from the perspective of Chewie's family. And his family is his wife Mala, his dad Itchy, and his son Lumpy. If I remember correctly, I think it's Lumpy, right?
Yeah, I think
yes, Lumpy.
Okay. Grandpa Itchy looks real fun. He looks like this.
He got one tooth.
I can't even do it with my. I can't do it.
He got the one tooth.
You have to have your lips like this.
And it's like all the way up.
Oh.
That's what I remember the most.
I can't.
His bottom lip sunk down and also straight up at the same time.
Yeah, it was up to his nose almost. But anyways, it looked real fucked up. A local trader brought him
like a mind depleter
or
something, which doesn't make any sense. But
and that then showed him his desires, which was,
you know what? I'm not even mad at Grandpa because she was like, "I'm your perfect image," and I was like, "I mean, yeah, I could see that. Good job, Grandpa."
I don't know why it wasn't a Wookiee. I guess
Hey,
it doesn't have to be, but
because Grandpa liked that chocolate.
Yeah, weirdly, she said, "I am your desire" or something, and he just kept. Or no, she said, "You're adorable" or something like that, and he just kept hitting repeat.
Rewind.
Yeah, that was.
I need more of this, please, and thank you.
And this is after the trader made Mala give him a kiss for a present.
There was a lot of overly weird sexual tone to a lot of it, or sexual overtone to a lot of it. A lot of things being said that just felt like they would all be in an HR video that would definitely be shown to people to not do those things.
The creepy bar patron that assaulted the bartender.
So I did some quick research. I found out that those are all nicknames. Itchy, Lumpy, and Mala. I don't know if you have that info.
I don't.
Okay. Mom's name is Mala Tobuk. Lumpy's name is Lumpawarump.
Oh yeah, that's better.
Itchy's name is Atichi Kook.
See, this goes back to like that was that then, or like is that like we just made that canon? That's what I'm saying. Like, because so Lucas didn't have a whole lot to do with it, other than the advertisers were like, or the merchandise people were like, please make something, and he's like, all right, you guys can do it, and they wrote something out. But like he didn't have a whole lot of say in it. He didn't like get involved with it. So that's why a bunch of it has nothing to do with the actual storyline, because they didn't really write anything for the story.
I like to think they never seen it.
Right. I mean, Star Wars. Sure as shit felt like it.
And we're like, I'll figure it out.
But
Wookiees, right? Got it. Don't worry about it.
Right. I have a feeling that was like something added later, because it definitely felt like that was just what it felt like was they heard that Han Solo called him Chewie, and they're like, "Oh, okay, so like Itchy and Lumpy, that makes sense."
Yeah. Itchy and Scratchy.
Right.
Oh man. I don't even know where to go with this episode. Okay. So the intro with Han and Chewie looked like a bad Six Flags ride. Like it was like, oh, here we go, guys. Oh, it's getting crazy. And like the background was just shaking.
Right. Because they had no budget. Like it just looked like they were playing the same footage from episode 1 or episode 4 over just like Chewie and Han were just sitting in front of a green screen where that shit was just going behind them.
I think they should retell that whole story and make that the new Solo movie.
Oh, yeah.
Just their tale. Just what happened between being shot at and showing up at the end.
Oh, we forgot the part where where Lumpy is walking on the banister outside his house for no reason. And then they pan away to that terrible CG of him.
It's not CG because they didn't have that back then.
It's like animation. I don't understand how what that was.
What's funny is if you think about it, that was strong enough to hold that little Wookiee up, but the stormtrooper straight just fell through it by putting his hand on him and just went bye-bye.
It's a baby Wookiee.
Baby Wookiee has some.
I need Baby Yoda to be there. I need Baby Yoda and Baby Wookiee to go on their own adventure. I love it.
I guess Grogu would be alive.
Yeah, he would be. Also, there were like drawings in there instead of like models or like any other type of. I noticed like 4 different drawings where they're like, just put it up, just put the picture.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. They had no budget at all for special effects. It was a TV show in the 70s. They were like, I don't know. That's what I was saying. I'm pretty sure they just played footage of Star Wars: A New Hope and then just put their actors in front of it and were like, yep, go with it. It was rough. Although I will tell you, I think the most positive thing about this whole thing was the cartoon short, even though it made no sense and was real bizarre.
Yep.
Because again, while it was happening, we were talking a little bit about it, but like up until that point, Boba Fett was not a person, was not really a character.
I don't know who gets credit for that.
I imagine that they had started filming because 81? Is it 81 that Empire Strikes Back came out?
Yeah, they would have at least had started writing it, even if they weren't even filming it.
Yeah. But how do these fuckheads get a hold of that information?
Fair.
Right?
And at the end, they find out that Boba Fett's a bounty hunter, and he's just like, bye! And then it ends.
Zoom. Which is weird. Okay, so that kind of tells you that they had very little understanding of who he was, because in Empire Strikes Back, is the first time that Vader meets him. Because at the time he was working for Jabba the Hutt, trying to track down Han Solo, which is also weird. Because during that time, that would have been the case. He would have been looking for Han Solo. Because the version that George Lucas wanted people to see was that he got confronted by Jabba the Hutt as they were trying to leave Tatooine in episode 4. Did you ever see those? Remember when they came out with like the new, and like everybody made fun of them because like the editions were dumb, but like it was when they came out with the VHSs that were gold with Darth Vader's face on.
Yeah.
So there was a scene in it that was like an additional feature, and it was a scene where when they're leaving onto the Millennium Falcon, you see Jabba the Hutt there like confronting Han Solo. So at that time, Jabba's already upset with Han and trying to get a hold of him. So Boba Fett should have been working for Jabba the Hutt at that point, not Darth Vader. he met Darth Vader later on when he's talking to all the bounty hunters saying, "Get me them now. I don't care what you have to do." When they're on the Imperial destroyer or whatever. Anyway, so no, I don't think they knew a lot about Boba Fett, but it was kind of cool to have. And maybe that's why they allowed him to talk as much as they did, because they're like, who knows?
They get the claim for first appearance.
Also, they just trying to sell them toys.
And now he's back. Small spoiler.
I don't know. Hopefully that's not a spoiler by now. Hopefully, if you're into The Mandalorian, you've already seen it. If not, yikes. Our bad.
I like to talk more about Itchy.
Okay.
He's quite the character to me. Because you had mentioned Cranky Kong, and I wrote Cranky Kong down because that's what he reminded me a lot of. He also had a lot of Netflix Daredevil feature, in my opinion, because, well, just the remnants of it. Because I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this. I brought it up to Jennifer before. When Daredevil is hearing things, he does like a neck twitch pigeon head rotate thing.
Well, how are you supposed to know that he's hearing small sounds?
Right. You're acting. I get it. But Cranky Kong does the same thing. Like if he's going to the door, he was like shaking his head around, and I was like, I
like
and
to
then
think that he was just hearing voices in his head.
And then he's like watching porn in the living room.
He did watch porn in the living room.
That's a man's dream. I also thought it was the wife's dad, not Chewbacca's. And I don't know. You said that you understood that. I don't know how you knew that information.
How do you know
the
that?
naming convention?
Huh?
The naming convention. It purely was that.
What?
The fact that that's what I was saying. So that's what I was saying before. Like that you're right that these writers had obviously had no idea what the hell they were doing because they heard that Han Solo called Chewbacca Chewie and were like, Itchy and Lumpy. That makes sense.
Gotcha.
Like it was a name, like a family thing. Like this is their family crest.
I feel like I heard them call Mala Molly every once in a while.
Oh, I don't think I heard that, but maybe.
I could have made it up. I don't know. Could have been high.
They did like to say Mala a lot. Luke told her to smile, and I felt it felt like fancy, like, you know, when Reba McEntire sang a song about a little girl being told to go be a prostitute because that'll pay for your family's livelihood. Anyway,
can we talk about all this kids' trippy ass technology? Because we Circus Delay thing that made the person lifestyles eventually.
What didn't make sense about that to me was like the kid was like fucking mesmerized and was like, it's gonna hurt me. That was sitting in their living room. That wasn't like something that just got brought there. They had that. They knew what that was, and they've used it before.
Several cassette players just stacked on a shelf, basically.
Grandpa used it.
Do you use them all at the same time? Like, why do you need so many cassette players?
All of them at the same time. How do you get all the acrobats to come to life, Steph?
I mean, they only put one tape in there.
And then he has this fucking fourth wall breaking cartoon about his dad, kind of, that he watched on a little Atari Game Boy.
It was a lot of technology that we had to
several
watch
different
other
TVs
people.
in different parts of the room that can communicate to different places.
Yeah, a lot of
walls.
voyeurism.
Wookie's got some in-wall TVs.
But like, and what was crazy is like we were just spying on the Empire, but like the Empire was in our house while that was happening. But it was like the most useless things. Like, why was everybody from like the stormtroopers, the lieutenant, and the officer were all standing around a TV watching the Arthur take people out of the bar?
And a planet that nobody cares about.
Right.
When they're supposed to be trying to connect the rebels to this house for some reason.
And there were several times where we were pretty sure that they were going to
take advantage of
Mala.
Mala. So I have a theory now.
Okay.
I think that Tatooine is like super fucking special.
Wow.
But nobody wants people to. I don't know, man. I'm not there. But nobody wants you to know about it. That's why everybody talks it down.
Okay.
That's why everybody's like, fucking small ass planet. Nope, don't go there. Ain't shit there.
Yeah.
And then like it's a huge military base, just like a couple blocks over.
I mean, the Hut lives there, so
Mm.
he's kind of a big deal.
Eh,
He's a
Is he?
crime lord.
but does he live there?
Yeah, that's where his palace is.
I don't know.
His big old palace. Well, the Sarlacc, I think is the name of it. I'm gonna stop using things because I don't know all of the...
I don't know, man, because he was in episode 1 with the pod racing, so I don't know where he fucking goes.
That was on Tatooine.
Oh, it was. That's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this shouldn't be called Star Wars. This is fucking trouble coming from one goddamn planet. Why couldn't that have been Alderaan?
Big Trouble in Little Tatooine.
Fuck, we just blow that fucker up, and we don't have any of these problems.
I think we went over my Big Trouble in Little Chinatown joke too fast.
Okay, I'm sorry. Say it again.
Too late. I don't want your fake laughs. Man.
Listen, Kurt Russell's too busy doing the Christmas Chronicles. Okay,
Christmas Chronicles. God, that hurt too. And I watched it.
I started watching it and I fell asleep.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Watch Godmother too. That was a real train wreck.
Do you know that they're playing number 2 Christmas Chronicles in movie theaters right now and charging you $11 to see it? It's on Netflix. You can fuck right off.
Why would you go to a movie theater to see something you can see on Netflix?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have Netflix. Maybe we want the experience. And COVID.
You know, but here's the thing. That's what's frustrating because Katie and Jameson both liked it. So I was like, you know what? For like, if we could get the same thing we got last time, it was $13 for all 3 of us to go see it. I was like, sure. There was nobody in the theater. Nobody's going to go to see the Netflix movie. I can have a whole theater to myself for $13. I went to go book it and it was like $38. And I, fuck you. They're charging full price again, which means people are going. Anyways.
Yeah, so let's talk about Luke Skywalker's face.
Pandemic's over.
Let's talk about who?
Luke Skywalker's face.
Yeah, he looked good.
He had
So
a lot of
before-
makeup on.
Before anybody says negative things about the great Mark Hamill, let me let you know that his face was like heavily made up because he had reconstructive surgery after a car accident.
Oh.
So they just plastered him and were like, get out there.
They could have like done without the eyeliner though. The eyeliner was like, are you a pirate?
But you know what? As I was looking at him, I was like, there's something weird with this man. Is this a clone of this man? Or perhaps like the Ripley's Believe It or Not dolls that they're just moving and making
dolls.
look.
I thought he just had way too much makeup on. I didn't really like. I was just like, his face is creeping me out.
I assumed it was like the late 70s. He had just become a big movie star. I assumed drugs. But yeah, you know, that's fair.
That's fair because I also have a little small note that Bruce Vilanch, which is one of the writers, admitted to being like heavily doped up on cocaine to help write the special.
I mean,
Oh, that explains all of it.
Does that fit in with everything that you know about this?
that stacks up.
Mhm.
That definitely stacks up.
You have to be on drugs to either to write this movie and then also to enjoy it while you're watching it.
I didn't realize Han Solo was going to make it to the end. I was like, Harrison Ford didn't have it too bad. He was just in a cockpit with Chewbacca, does that shit all the time. And then he was there at the end, and he had to do.
Carrie Fisher got out easy too because she just had to.
I knew she had a song coming, so I knew she wasn't home free yet.
I did not. I don't know anything about this stupid special except for it was awful.
Let's talk about that song.
I appreciate that we tried to add lyrics to the song that was real popular at the time from the movie
Can you remember any words?
Life Day.
I can't remember a single word.
I mean, I guess that's fair. I mean, I guess the word "the" was probably in there too.
It was.
Man, I can't remember a lot, and yet it will never go away. I'll hear it in my sleeps.
It will never, ever, ever go away.
How did they get into that place all together? Did they just does those magical balls just transport them to some magical planet or they're just all on drugs? Imagining
Jellicle as fuck.
Gianluca canon.
Also, apparently Chewbacca's. I'm trying to look up where, but apparently, although this special's not canon, Chewbacca's family is mentioned again somewhere, and I'm trying everything I can to figure out where they're mentioned
I
again.
would imagine in like a cartoon or something.
Maybe like a novel.
Yeah, it's got to be like in Legends, like the whole entire literary universe that exists outside of the movies. Something that I feel like we're not discussing and was genuinely the most aggravating and lazy thing that could have possibly been done in this entire film was while I understand that in Star Wars A New Hope, whenever Chewbacca spoke, nothing was translated. However, we did have contextual clues based on Han Solo or anybody else's responses to him.
The interaction, yeah.
Right. You know, he would make a noise and Han would be like, no, we can't jump into hyperspeed or hyperspace. And you'd be like, oh, Chewie said, hey, let's jump into hyperspace.
Or it would be like, you know what happened last time? And it would make you understand, okay, so he brought up to do a plan like they did before.
Right.
Same way they do with Groot.
Right.
Right.
But this time we had 3 fucking Wookiees talking to each other for a solid 35 minutes in the beginning.
Oh, yeah. The whole beginning where you're just like,
We went
what?
30 minutes in and not a single word was spoken other than songs. And no, actually, it wouldn't even been songs because they hadn't gotten their toys yet. 30
No.
minutes in, and we did not hear a word spoken because all the Wookiees were talking to each other, and what they were doing to talk to each other was the whole time. And it was fucking obnoxious pitches too. Like it wasn't like Chewie's yell.
Iconic noise, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they could have copy and pasted to everybody, yes.
Yeah.
I wrote down, and it's pretty late in my notes, so it really had to have just beat me in the head with it. It said, I guess everybody can't wake the Wookiee noise. Which means I guess it was like, you know what, just okay, here's what it sounds like. Do it. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good.
That's gonna
do that noise.
We want them
I
to be
think
in different pitches.
Well, hold on a second. I think we should do the Wookiee challenge and see who here can make the.
I know I can't.
I can't either.
As a child, I always wanted to, and I got so mad when I couldn't do it.
I can't
There's a
either.
neighbor
But
kid
we're making fun of somebody else doing it. I also wrote down. I imagine that kid was like, "Hey, I was in Star Wars," and people were like, "What'd you do?" He was like, And his mom was like, "Hey,
We don't talk.
don't you tell them what you did?"
Especially if the Star Wars community was anything like it is now back then.
Or was it just like a little person? I don't honestly know.
Pat Maloney.
Also, in the intro, it was like with Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker and Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia, and here's Itchy and Lumpy, and like just moved on from who they were as people.
So interestingly, while Mala was a man, so the person that was
Pat
playing,
Maloney is Patty Maloney.
right, was Patty Maloney, and
She's a small woman.
she was a small woman, and she played lots of characters like that, like a terrorizing.
I'm looking at a picture of her from
Huff and Stuff. Please be PJ Huff and Stuff. Hey,
Yep.
PJ Huff and Stuff. I can't remember.
At first, I thought it was the Banana Splits.
Although I think it's funny that in the IMDb of this, Mala, Itchy, and Lumpy are like so far down the list. Holographic band member.
And they
Well, that's because
carried
they were
the
Jefferson
movie.
Starship. So they had Jefferson Starship. They had Diana Carroll, and they had Bea Arthur.
Diana Carroll's the woman. Right.
Yeah, they all sang songs, and then also Carrie Fisher. Like, I don't know. Did anybody? Well, whatever.
Did you ever look into your Jefferson Starship question?
It came after, so that song was made for that movie or that show. Yeah, movie.
Ooh, we got a hit. That's two good things about this thing.
It came out in 1970. Or they released it in 1978, and this released it. Or I'm sorry, 79, I think.
Put a little tally when you edit this. That's two good things for the Star Wars movie or a holiday special.
I don't know that I consider that a good thing. Yeah, sure.
It's not a bad thing.
A song called "Set the Sky on Fire," I believe.
They brought rock and roll to the Star Wars universe. You'd still be listening to the Cantina song.
It was not a terrible song.
I wonder if the Cantina song's like just does that band only play that there, or like does every bar
They go on tour with that song.
have a band? Is that like a cover band song? I think we need to do a whole special. Let me write that down. Look into the Cantina band. Hey, you laugh. That's where all our episodes come from, buddy. Little side notes like this.
Yeah, 1979 it came out an album called Gold.
Who did the cooking segment?
The cooking segment was done by the same guy that did 3 different parts. He did also the instructional video, and he did something else.
Which is funny because I remember when we were watching the Grandpa's Fantasy, I was like, can we just go back to that little kid and watch him make that IKEA puzzle? Because he got like 4 million pieces of this thing, and then we did. We eventually went back to it, and then
he also played the guy that poured the drink in his head.
So that was blackface, right? Like, am I wrong? You guys saw it. Did that look like it was supposed to be like a black woman?
No, I thought it was supposed to be green.
I couldn't tell. Steph?
I'm pretty sure she's supposed to be green or like
Which one?
red. I think she's supposed to be an alien.
The cooking segment with the 4 arms?
oh,
Chef Gourmanda.
I thought she was just like purple, like Ursula.
Yeah, well, I was to say I'm colorblind, so I don't know that I'm the best person to ask. But
I
you
wasn't
can look
paying.
at the Star Wars Wikipedia because that'll tell us everything about it
I'm
that they've
Googling
made
Chef
up.
Gourmanda right now. So here's why I ask. I found an image.
I kind of forgot about her, and she was like everything she ate.
Click on that.
She ate the raw meat, and then she
She
ate
didn't eat the raw
everything
meat.
that she put in the pot.
Also, the pot was just a bucket. Like, was our budget that bad that we couldn't get a pot? It was like a bucket that you would use to go outside and wash your car with.
Yeah, I'm looking at that picture. She's supposed to be grayish brown.
Okay, because she looked like she was supposed to be black to me.
Yeah, the
Like,
skin color is supposed to be grayish brown of her species. So I mean, they very well could have.
And she also gave me a real Medea feel at the beginning of it.
I thought she was making fun of like every kind of cooking channel, but at the time I wouldn't have been able to tell you anything that happened back then in the 70s. So I guess maybe I could be off.
Okay, and then the last question about her: was her hair supposed to mess up like that?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was supposed to be funny. He's a comedian.
He had me laughing with his cooking segment and his weird obsession with a woman who works at a bar.
He's been in other stuff, and I'm trying to think of. I've seen him before.
Did
and shit.
Mala just get like tired of like her nonsense, and then
she quit. She
just quit
decided
cooking?
her meal was not good enough and quit.
Also the amount of water that she poured into that pot to cover that meat, this much.
So he was in Blazing Saddles, the Carol Burnett show. Yeah, he's supposed to be a comedian.
Okay.
If that helps you at all. He also did a riff track of the Star Wars holiday special.
That's fair. Good fair. Steph, is there a scene that you would want to make sure that we brought up? I know they all hurt, but which one hurt less? I really didn't like the craftsman guy.
The trader.
The trader?
Yeah.
I didn't like him either.
He seemed like he was supposed to be funny also.
But
it also seemed like he just didn't know his lines.
You remember the bike repair shop man that tried to get Gary Coleman to come in the back?
Yep. Go ahead and make your point, sir. Finish what you're saying.
That's the vibe he gave.
When he gave a little Wookiee boy or possibly girl kiss.
I'm pretty sure it's a girl now that I think about it. That like based on the
and now that I think about it, at being a girl, Lumpy's such a mean name.
Lumpy's a real mean name.
I mean, Michael, I like to think that.
Oh no, it says according to Star Warspedia, it's a male.
Okay. I was gonna say, I imagine there's no point in Jameson's life where you'd be like, "Come here, Lumpy," like, because that'll scar you for life. Like that doesn't make it okay. So, I mean, not to be sexist, but I guess I'd rather you call a boy that than a girl.
I mean, even in Home Alone, the Buzz's girlfriend, when they're making fun of her, like the photo says
Mhm.
Buzz's girlfriend, woof. It's a picture of the producer's son because they thought it would be too mean to say that about a girl.
That's fair.
So it would be mean in this case to call this girl Lumpy.
Agreed. Steph, scene, final thoughts?
I think we
We didn't cover all of it because that's a day
that
and a
one
half.
that poor the which one- the there was one guy, one of the Imperial people with the one with the stupid hat. He just ripped that big
The-
fluffy animal thing. He just
what's that
ripped
thing
the head
called?
off of it,
The Bantha.
Yeah.
and then we had a whole 5-minute scene of baby Wookiee.
Poor Lumpy trying to get his life back together
Put a blanket over it.
while his mom's downstairs, possibly
Gave it a
being
kiss.
I know they're a part of the Empire, but like the Imperial officer that was just like, "This is mine now, and I get this groomer," and then just walked off with it was kind of.
He had such a weird voice. It was
Yeah,
such
absolutely
an
did.
odd voice.
It didn't feel like it was his voice at all.
No. Is that Darth Vader's little brother? I know that I don't know. I don't know where to go in the future or this podcast.
Does it help you know that they made a Lego holiday special now?
I saw that and I thought that we might need to do that.
Do you know why they did it? Here's my theory on this.
To fuck up Google?
Yes, 100%. Who did? What was that did that? Remember, like they're like
the Frozen Disney Frozen thing.
yeah. The whole theory is the reason the
That
movie
conspiracy theory?
Frozen is so you stop looking up if Walt's head's frozen.
Yeah.
Fun fact: I've said this a million times, but even though it's not canon anymore, thanks to Disney, as a cast member in entertainment, if you happen to be very good friends with Chewbacca, you need to know his backstory, which includes his family.
I told you his family's canon somewhere. I'm gonna find it and we're gonna talk about it. The holiday special must live on in every little boy and girl.
No, I'm gonna forget that Chewbacca has a family. This is just a
All
really
the
bad
lumpies
dream.
everywhere. I said that at one point. This is just
A
Chewbacca.
fever dream.
The ship got hit and they lost oxygen. And Chewbacca passed out and had a weird dream, and it was about his family.
Makes
He's
sense why
imagining
some of
a
it was
whole
in
nother life.
cartoon.
Right. It was like Dumbo when he drank the naughty sauce and saw the pink elephants.
I mean, half the time the whole thing is so disconnected. Like I didn't realize that they were watching the bar, and all of a sudden you see them standing around the TV. You're like, what is happening right now?
You don't remember the giant red screen and the blaring sounds like it was the purge starting?
And then the light that would like opened it up. Yeah, the transitions from scene to scene here were just as hard cut as possible.
Didn't even try. Not at all.
Here's one thing, okay? If anything, it gives you an appreciation for the amount of money that Disney's willing to put into their TV shows now. Now, I know that they're getting a lot of return on that because, Disney's making fucking bank on this.
Oh, shit. Did you see all the stuff they just announced?
Yeah.
Crazy.
But, I kind of appreciate that we've gone full circle. And even before this, I never saw Clone Wars or Rebels, but I understand that those both were actually pretty solid after the first season of Clone Wars, is my understanding.
Mm-hmm.
They did a good job at the TV shows after, and so I appreciate that. And this is like our bar. It's a really low bar It's a really, really low bar run by Bea Arthur on Tatooine.
What would you rather watch, Santa Jaws or this movie?
I greatly enjoyed Santa Jaws.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I didn't enjoy this that much. I have fond memories of this movie only because I I got to watch it with you guys, and plus I'm not having to watch it without having the knowledge that there's so much better Star Wars content out there. Like, I have to imagine that people that watch this were like, fuck, Empire Strikes Back, not today.
So there's an episode, I like the show The Goldbergs. There's an episode where this kid, he wants to be I don't know if either of you watched the show. It's about this kid, he's him growing up from like 7 on, and he wants to be a filmmaker, and he makes little home movies. And at the end of the show, he'll play the home movie side by side with a shot in the show to show you, like, this is a story that I'm telling you that's happened. And he had an episode about how one of his friends from high school had gotten a hold of the Star Wars Christmas special. He was like, oh my God, everything Star Wars touches, it's fantastic. And then it cut to it being over, and he was like, just devastated, because he was like, if they can make this, I don't know what to think anymore. And they've got a good point. I agree 100,000%. Bea Arthur, what were you doing, my sweet angel?
I don't blame the universe for not wanting to acknowledge this. However, much like Song of the South, I believe that Disney should just fucking own up to it. Like, they didn't even do this one. They did Song of the South. They didn't even do this one, and I feel like somebody should just be like, hey, this was it. And, like, honestly, they could probably make a joke about it, and people would be like, good on you.
I agree. I feel like, and we could do a whole thing on the shit that Disney keeps editing out that they're putting on Disney Plus. I feel like there's nothing wrong with putting a disclaimer at the beginning. It's like, hey, this is really fucked up, but this was the past. We do not believe in these things. Just so you know, when it comes to like the more provocative or racial issues. But I feel like when you do something like this, it's like taking away from something that happened in people's lives, and that's not fair to do, I feel, personally.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it is the person that created it, you created it, you saw it, you put it out there, you live in it. You live in
Lumpy
this
wants to
pile of
this.
shit. You live in this pile of shit that you've made for us, and you take it forever.
But yeah, I encourage everybody to go see it.
It's
on YouTube for free.
It's not worth the watch, but
I'll do it.
Man,
for free. Go watch it.
Go watch Santa Jaws instead.
I think now when everybody asks me what's my favorite Christmas movie, I know my answer.
Oh, you know what? That was the last thing I wanted to say was that everybody wants to fight to make Home Alone and Die Hard Christmas movies. Just know that means you have to live in the same realm that this movie lives in. Because this is a Christmas movie.
It's
a holiday special.
It says it on the title. It's Christmas special.
It says holiday special. Holiday means Thanksgiving too.
It does say holiday special. Fine. Look, you want to see the picture that they sold it on?
I mean, they didn't.
Look at those Christmas trees in the back.
I like that it's a TV guide cover.
Yeah. Because it never existed after. Let us know if you've seen this movie and what you thought about it. If you haven't seen it, go see it.
You should go see it.
It's free on YouTube. Watch it.
Watch it.
If you don't watch it, then we die in 7 days. So please fucking watch it.
You're in quarantine. There's nothing else going on at all.
I know Star Wars fans. I know Star Wars fans that I said, "Hey, this is what we're doing for this next episode that we record," and they said, "I've never heard of that," and then looked it up and said, "Holy shit!" Watched 5 minutes and we're like, "I'm out." So, if anything, you can one up a lot of annoying Star Wars fans by watching this and then holding that over them with the information you've learned.
Mm-hmm.
And 30 minutes of that hour and 48 minutes will just be Wookiees talking. And then random musicals. With zero transition.
Okay. Best Wookiee noise, Stephanie. Go.
I can't do Wookiee noises. My Wookiee noises are just like sound like I
That
sound like
that
dog.
sound- honestly, that sounds like
It's
Mala.
skits. Michael?
That's all I got, man.
I got to put the throat up because there's a bit of gargling in it.
Oh
Oh,
man, yeah, that was the
Fantastic.
best one. Anyways,
You can be a Wookiee.
I don't wanna anymore.
just comment down below, hit like, hit subscribe if you're still here somehow.
Yep. Hit
You
us
can
up
go
on
on any of
the
our social medias and suggest things because most of the time we listen to your suggestions. We have a lot of different social medias. What are they, Cleve?
We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Twitter. They're all Friendship Supreme, except Twitter. Twitter has no eyes on the word friendship because all eyes typically make it to the YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com and search Friendship Supreme. We also have a Twitch channel and a Patreon, which are all Friendship Supreme as well. Go to the YouTube channel and you can see the absence of light in my eyes.
Hopefully, you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. I've been Michael.
This is Cleve.
This is Stephanie.
And that's the spirit. You'll be celebrating Life Day before you know it. May the force be with you, I guess. Fucking shit.
I'm also with you.
At this point, I think I've joined the fucking Empire.
I've always had a problem with the Jedi anyway. It's fine.